I am Vinny,
I'm DJ.
And I'm Owen.
and welcome back to the Play-by-Play podcast. All right, so the first thing we got for you today is the Phillies just signed Whit Merrifield. What do you guys think about this?
I think this is a really good, signing because he was second in hitting, and obviously they have a bunch of good hitters, but they don't really have a lot of people that are good outfielders and hitters. So I think this is a good signing.
Yeah, I feel like he's pretty old. He's 35, but last season he had an average of 272. He had 11 home runs, 67 RBIs, and 149 hits. So I feel like he has a lot of hits, so he's going to get on base. So, like, if you put him behind someone or, like, in front of someone like Bryce Harper, like, put him at 2 and put Bryce Harper at 3, you're going to get a lot of home runs because if Bryce Harper's making contact with the ball and, like, hitting home runs, that's at least a 2-run shot because he gets on base so many times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next thing we got is the NBA All-Star Game. First thing is Damian Lillard won the three-point contest. Again, back-to-back.
Donovan Mitchell,
Donovan Mitchell.
Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, Lauri Markkanen, and Malik Beasley.
Oh, yeah. And didn't they have to do it over again because they all tied the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Then Stephen Curry won against Sabrina. I was happy that he won because honestly, she was pretty good. She had the choice to shoot from the NBA or the WNBA line. She shot from the NBA line.
Yeah.
It was with a WNBA ball though.
Yeah, and she still tied the other NBA players for the first round. She
Yeah,
had 26,
Damian Lillard.
which that's crazy. But obviously, I was expecting Steph to win. He's obviously the greatest shooter of all time. So.
I feel like Sabrina is a good shooter, but when you put him up against the best NBA shooter of all time, it's really not even like a match. You know who's going to win.
I think it was pretty cool that first time they ever did that. I hope they keep on doing it because it was pretty entertaining.
What they're planning on doing next year is I'm pretty sure it's like a 2v2, so it might be like Clay and Steph against like Sabrina and some other girl from the WNBA because that's what they were talking about. So that'd be fun to watch.
And Clark, maybe.
That'd be cool. Now we got Mac McClung in the dunk contest, back-to-back wins for Mac McClung, obviously with the Sixers last year. Now he's playing in the G League with the Magic. Now we have the East won 211 to 186 against the West. The first year they brought it back, and I think it was pretty cool that the East won. I think it was a pretty entertaining game. I feel like there could have been a little bit more defense out because it's the All-Star game. Nobody really wants to play defense, but and otherwise, I thought it was pretty entertaining. Some funny moments to go with it as well.
What I saw is that someone had an idea which I thought was really good. Whoever wins the All-Star game should have home court advantage for the NBA Finals because then like people are actually trying, they're playing defense and they're actually trying to score, and there's actually something to play for other than just like the MVP.
Yeah, because don't they do that in the MLB now? Like if you
No, it's like the top seed gets like the first 2 games or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the All-Star game, it's fun to watch, but I really like to see them play some defense against each other because those are the kind of matchups you want to see that you wouldn't normally see in a game or whatever. But the one thing that is annoying is it's pretty much a second 3-point contest. Yeah. Because the whole time Damian Lillard and all them they're just shooting from half the entire game.
Especially even people like LeBron are like trying to like shoot like logo threes, and like Luka's trying to like throw it off the backboard to himself, and like you wouldn't do that in a regular game, so why are you doing it in the All-Star game?
Yeah, I feel like there's moments like that where it's just like play how you play. Like play like it's a normal game and not for fun. Just play. You know what I mean? Like defense, offense. Like like you guys said, everybody's shooting from half, the logo, the deep threes. Like what are we doing all this for? Throwing it off the backboard, throwing crazy lobs. Like what? Just play the game. So now we got the Eagles news for this week. Will Swift be back? That's the talk of the week. Will Swift be back? He obviously is a free agent right now. He was only a 1-year deal. Will he be back? What do you guys think?
Yeah, obviously Derrick Henry being a free agent, there was speculation that he would be the one going to the Eagles, and then Swift would maybe end up somewhere else, maybe Baltimore or something like that, or some other team. But I would much rather have, even though he is kind of old, I would much rather have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, well, especially this free agent class for especially running backs is the best. I mean, you have Saquon Barkley, you have DeAndre Swift, you have Derrick Henry, you have J.K. Dobbins. Even I think Josh Jacobs is a free agent, and Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what's happening with him in Indianapolis. So all these running backs are a great fit for Philly, especially if you put any of these running backs behind this great offensive line, even without Jason Kelsey. So I feel like we won't get Swift back, and I feel like we're going to get Saquon Barkley or J.K. Dobbins.
I think they underutilized Swift, as I said before on the podcast. I feel like they underutilized him this year. I feel like they could have done a lot more with him. But maybe with this new offensive coordinator, they'll run the ball more. I don't know if Swift's going to be back. I don't think he will, honestly. I think they're going to go for somebody like Saquon or Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs or Jonathan. It's a crazy running back free agent list this year, and there's so many good ones that the Eagles would be fit for. And like you were saying, JJ, with the great offensive line, I think any of these running backs would be great. And they're all good. They're all good. Even though Derrick Henry's getting a little old, Saquon's getting a little bit older. But they're still good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like with the Eagles, I feel like a good fit for the Eagles is probably like a receiving back that can run and receive the ball. Because our wide receivers, they're big. They're not like flimsy. Like A.J. Brown he's super strong. And just like Devontae Smith and like Quez Watkins maybe, like if they do sign Quez Watkins, they can all block for a receiving back like Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor or Saquon. So I feel like a receiving back could be a really good fit for Philly.
So now we got Justin Fields to the Steelers. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I've seen it a lot everywhere, so thought we'd like to talk about it. But do you guys think he's going to the Steelers?
Yeah, I think he is because obviously they have Kenny Pickett, but and Chicago, they don't really have a very good O-line. So I feel like Justin Fields, he has that talent. He just doesn't have enough time in the pocket to show that talent. And also, I don't know if you guys heard, but he unfollowed the Bears on Instagram.
That's what I was just looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like, Justin Fields, he is a great quarterback. He's a run threat. He's a pass threat. He just doesn't have any options or weapons in Chicago. Like, you have DJ Moore, but then on your line, you have nothing. You have Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney, and I think Chase Claypool's still on there. But you don't utilize them. Like, who's your running back? Like, I don't even know who the running back is. Like, you need to find weapons. Like, Tua. Like, he everyone was saying he's washed. Or not washed, whatever. A draft bust. Then you put him with Tyreek Hill, and he's top 5 in the league. So, he needs weapons.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be great for weapons. I think, personally, I've seen it everywhere, the Steelers is where he's most likely going to land. And I did see that he unfollowed the Bears, which I thought was pretty crazy. Because he was saying that he was going to stay with the Bears, but I don't know so much anymore. Why'd you unfollow him if you're not going to stay? If you're going to stay with him?
Yeah. Also, I can feel him ending up somewhere, maybe like Indianapolis with the Colts or something. Some team, in need of a QB. But
Denver.
Yeah, Denver somewhere. If he doesn't end up with the Steelers, which he probably will, but
I don't think he's going to end up with the Colts. The Colts just got Anthony Richardson. Colts have Gardner Minshew, and they have Anthony Richardson, which are two. And Gardner Minshew's an all right QB, but they have Anthony Richardson, and I think he's pretty good. If the Colts get some more weapons on their team.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you do keep Justin Fields and you get Marvin Harrison, you're still not going to have a good team. So get a young quarterback that can actually work without a offensive line and see how that works out for you. Where would Kenny Pickett go? Like, would he be a backup?
Backup. I think, honestly, Mason Rudolph is what they're landing on right now. I feel like he's better than Kenny Pickett.
QBs, then, like, what? Because, like...
I think they might trade Kenny Pickett away.
Yeah, but to the Bears, then don't they want a QB?
I feel like, I don't know if to the Bears, but they might trade him somewhere because for just a backup, man, because I feel like the Bears might get Caleb Williams or somebody, man. They need a better QB. Not that Justin Fields is bad. I'm just saying they need somebody who, like you said, the pocket time, Owen, and that how Justin Fields is a scrambler. There's no blocking. The offensive line ain't that great. And I feel like Justin Fields can be utilized more somewhere elsewhere.
Yeah, and if they do end up trading Kenny Pickett, then instead of drafting a QB with the first pick, they might focus their talent somewhere, maybe some O-line, maybe a receiver, maybe a running back, something like that, instead of having to pick a QB.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a QB somewhere, though, because I feel like Kenny Pickett's just not the way to go. He hasn't been great over the first couple of years. And I feel like I don't think it's going to be the Bears getting Kenny Pickett. I feel like just somewhere he's going to be a backup somewhere. But I feel like the Colts are good. I feel like the Bears, maybe Caleb Williams, or maybe, like you were saying, some O-line. All right, so that's it for this week on the Play by Play podcast. We'll see you guys next week.